Welcome back to Small Couch Reviews, people. It's your boy Sam.
It's your boy Jovi.
Today we're gonna do something a little different. So, our friends over at Grand Chucket hooked us up with a screener. First screener we've been to in a little while, actually. I don't know if you guys noticed. Our schedules have been kind of jam-packed,
Very
Which is
packed.
why you've kind of seen some solo videos from Jovi, some solo videos from me. It's been a little cray-cray. But anyway, first screener we've had in a little while. It's for the movie that it's called The Killer's Game. Now, I had no idea what this movie was. I just was like, it's been a while. Let me go see it. I saw Dave Bautista was in it. Ben Kingsley, Terry Crews. It had a lot of people I knew. Drew McIntyre, who you might know from WWE, Jovi. I think you went to wrestle. You saw him. And Sophia Boutella, who is in Jovi's favorite movie, the star of Rebel Moon, Snyder Cut. Anyway, so I saw these names. I was like, all right, cool, let's do this. Now, Jovi was preoccupied, so I went and I saw it. And I'm ready to give my review and my thoughts on it, and I want to share them with you, Jovi, because this movie was shockingly good.
Oh,
I cannot believe how much I enjoyed it. It's cool hour and a half. So our screen started at 7. The movie itself started around 7:10, and when I walked out of the theater, it was 8:35. So
okay,
cool hour and a half movie. Very simple premise, and it's very funny. Now it's not. It kind of reminds me of like Bullet Train. Remember when we watched that and I was talking about how refreshing a movie it was?
Yeah.
It's not perfect, but it's a movie that I had fun with, and I'm not really gonna crap on it for its shortcomings because one, it surprised me, and two, it was a great time at the movies. That's what I want this review to just reflect. It's a good time to just go turn off your brain, eat some popcorn, and watch the movie.
That's been
unlike
a
Fast
while.
and Furious, where I can't turn off my brain.
Oh my god!
Yes, shots fired. I can't. But anyway, so let me tell you what this movie is. So Bautista, he plays a hitman named Joe, and in this world, the hitmen are. It's kind of like John Wick's world, where they're assassins. They have like their own little world, their own little underground, and they have these rules that they all have to follow. Right now, he works out of Europe, carries out hits. And his thing is he doesn't ever like his role in what they call it the game, like the assassins call it the game. Right. And when he plays the game, he never goes after anyone who is innocent. He never does women, he doesn't do children, he doesn't do innocent men. You have to have a proven record of being a bad person for him to go after you and kill you. So that's his thing. Which a hitman's a hitman, but it does make him more likable.
Right.
Right. And Bautista, just off jump, this dude has come such a long way. I remember when he first was cast as Drax the Destroyer and he started crying and hired an acting coach right after. I was like, you know what? I'm very happy for this dude. I'm anxious to see where it goes.
He lost.
And in this, what'd you say?
So he lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, he did. Even though he's still huge, man.
Yeah, but
in this movie, he's a large man. But yeah,
he's still large in that one.
Yeah.
But as of recently, he's saying he wants to do more of these type of roles. So he's like basically pushing himself away from that. I only can be the big bad.
Right.
And I can actually do serious roles.
And you bring me to the point I want to make. Did you see his role in the M. Night Shyamalan movie? I think it was called The Cabin.
I didn't. I know exactly what you're talking about, but I did not see his performance.
It was Knock at the Cabin. That's what it was.
Yeah.
That role, if you haven't seen it, that was like as close to an Oscar-worthy role as I think he could get.
Oh, wow.
He was so good in it, man. So spectacular. Like, you saw his acting chops come out, and that's when I realized this dude has range. And this movie kind of showed a little bit of that because, we've seen him as the comedy type guy as Drax. Mm-hmm. And I saw him in the serious type role at Knock in the Cabin. And in this, he's kind of a gentle giant. He's very introverted at the beginning. He's very quiet and stoic and keeps to himself. Mm-hmm. But then, he shows his comedic timing. And it's a different type of comedy from Drax where, Drax would say stuff that's funny Whereas in this, it's more the way he reacts to certain situations that is quite hilarious. Him and Ben Kingsley, who plays his handler, and like his only friend. But anyway, so I got sidetracked there. Just Batista's. I just wanted to emphasize he was very good as an action star and in the comedy role in this action comedy. But anyway, so he's a hitman, and he's playing the game and he starts having like these headaches, and but then he meets Sofia Boutella's character, who's a dancer who he saves at one point. Mm-hmm. And they immediately they are instantly attracted to each other. They fall in love. She kind of, at first he's like, I'm not the type who can date somebody, but he gives life a chance, I guess. He gives love a chance. Mm-hmm. And it works out, they there's a whole montage of them dating, falling in love, getting together. And the thing that's awesome is their chemistry together really works here. Now, their relationship takes up maybe the first 20, 25 minutes of the movie, showing how they became what they are. And I got to say, that's when, that chemistry is some of the best I've seen. It's way better. Movie I just saw, The Crow. The Crow took 45 minutes to establish that this man loves this woman. And I didn't believe it. I just didn't believe it. I believe these 25 minutes in this movie that it's not even revolving around their love being the central thing. I believe
that they love each other.
I believe this more than I believe The Crow. Like Sofia Boutella, Dave Bautista, their chemistry, excellent, man. So it gets to a point where, so I mentioned he was having headaches, and it gets to a point where I don't really want to spoil what's happening, because I think
I want to see this movie, so don't.
I won't. It's quite hilarious what happens, but through happenstance, Batista becomes a target in the game. Like assassins start coming after him, and in one of the it's like. At first, he's like, you know what? I'm not gonna fight this. He's like, you know what? I'll leave all the money I have to Maisie. That's Sofia Boutella's character's name. He's like, I'll leave the money I have to her. It's all good. But in one of the more hilarious moments in this movie, something happens that changes his mind, which again, I'm not really gonna spoil. So the movie then changes where it's basically he has to survive. Like assassins are coming after him and he has to survive. Yeah. And the assassins are where you get a lot of the celebrity cameos. We have, like I said, Drew McIntyre is one, Terry Crews is one, Palm Clement, I think it's pronounced Clementif, Mantis from
yeah.
She's one. And a lot more I'm not going to spoil. Someone I follow on the gram, I was happy to see her in there. Is one, and it's just really good at that point. So the first half hour was kind of serious because it was like, it was more of a drama type movie where you see this relationship unfold. Yeah. After that is when all the hijinks and all the comedy and all the action happened, and I loved it. So, I am gushing on this, but I will say if there's something that is something I would I guess be a sour, as we call it.
Yeah.
And the shifting of tones from that first act to the second and third don't really match. All of the acting isn't excellent. There's some strange dialogue choices and some decisions that are made where you're like, yeah, a real person wouldn't make this decision. But again, because the movie is just fun, I can ignore these things because they're not egregious at, to that point. And then the action, bruh. Something else it shares in common with John Wick. It's not as creative when it comes to the kills, but the action, man, it is gruesome. Like the way Batista kills some people is amazing. Like the first set of assassins who come after him, that scene is gonna live in my mind forever. He he uses objects you would never think to use to kill people, man.
Right. Well, now, yeah, I definitely got to see it then.
You got to. The assassins themselves all have their little quirks. Like, there are these two assassins who are the party girls, and there's this one Spanish dancer who only uses hand to hand, but he has to put his earbuds in before he fights. Like, there are these brothers who only kill people while they're riding their motorcycles. Like, it's an interesting world basically, and they're all coming after this dude. And yeah, it's great, bro. You're not gonna be disappointed. I'm guaranteed. I know you.
Right.
You will laugh. I think most audiences will laugh during this movie, and I think a lot of audience will have a good time. A lot of audiences will have a good time with it, bro.
I'm surprised he hasn't done more. Like, he's been doing interviews, but it doesn't seem like they're really going on tour to really promote this one.
That's the other thing. I hadn't really heard too much about this movie.
Yeah. And that's,
I mean, it's kind of, not to brag, it's kind of what we do. So it's like, right. Yeah, I hadn't heard too much about it. I know I had seen it a while ago. Then when I got the trailer, or I'm sorry, the screener invite, I was like, oh yeah, I remember this, but I haven't seen so much. But so hopefully it's it's a surprise. I definitely think people who go to theaters to watch it will enjoy it. And me saying that is a big deal because
no, truly,
you haven't really liked much people to go to theaters.
Yeah, you haven't liked much in the last few months either.
Yeah, that's true. So I mean, this was a surprise for me. Definitely would recommend. Definitely think we should watch it. Or you should watch it. Actually, we should watch it, Jovi. If you go, let me know. I'm gonna join you, yo. I would definitely watch this movie again. I thought it was really well done.
Okay.
And something else I want to say. It was shot very well too. Like scene transitions were done excellently. Like there's a scene where basically, like, let's say you see someone dancing. They're doing a dance move, and then it transitions into like Batista like snapping somebody's neck. Like this scene transition was like that. You see somebody pouring some champagne, and as the champagne is pouring, like the camera will zoom out, and you'll see that same bottle being smashed over somebody's head. Like it was really cool the way that the transitions, man. I dug it, especially in the earlier parts of the movie. And yeah, so funny action. Great chemistry between our two leads, and great chemistry between Batista and Ben Kingsley too. Ben Kingsley was where a lot of the comedy in this movie came from. So loved it, man. If I rate this, I would actually give this a 4 out of 5.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I definitely got to see it now. I really got to see it. Yeah.
And especially because it just starts. Like I said, you are in and you are out. There's not a lot of time to be wasted here in an hour and a half movie. So I dug it. Really dug it. And the screening, something that should have given me a hint. Bro, I had to sit in the front row. Like all of the seats were, when we're pressed, all the seats were taken.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is happening here? It was in the bigger theater we go to too, over in in Tyson's. And I was like,
that's crazy.
Yeah, man. I walked in that train. I was like, wow. Okay.
So maybe we haven't seen anything about it, but maybe it's been getting its rounds. Like, maybe. That's crazy.
But yeah, The Killer's Game. When you see it, please let us know what you think right down there in the comments, guys. I appreciate you listening to us. And I'm really bad at this. If you like this, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button and the little bell. All right, guys. Now, appreciate you guys. Until next time, we out.
Deuces.